Good Sunday morning. My name is Jessica Wirges. I use she, her pronouns. Suzanne and I created a message together to share today about the two important and joyful events this upcoming weekend, that we should focus on. Suzanne is not able to be here today, so I will be sharing her words and thoughts in addition to my own. The first event is this upcoming Saturday, June 19th. It's Juneteenth, also known as Emancipation Day or Jubilation Day. On that day in 1865, 2 months after the surrender of Robert E. Lee and nearly 2.5 years after the Emancipation Proclamation, Union Army General Gordon Granger arrived in Galveston, Texas as the commander of more than 2,000 federal troops to oversee the nullification of Confederate laws in Texas and the peaceful transfer of power. While there, he traveled to several different places, announcing General Orders Number 3, at last allowing these people to be free and be supposedly in charge of their lives in this particular part of the US. And I quote, "The people of Texas are informed that in accordance with a proclamation from the Executive of the United States, all slaves are free. This involves an absolute equality of personal rights and rights of property between former masters and slaves, and the connection heretofore existing between them becomes that between employer and hired labor. The freedmen are advised to remain quietly in their present homes and work for wages. They are informed that they will not be allowed to collect at military posts and that they will not be supported in idleness either there or elsewhere." So the slaves were freed, but only to an extent, to be hired labor, to be quiet, and not to be idle. In the Western European worldview, that is what we all are ultimately here for: to be hired labor, to be quiet, and not to be idle. That is what drives our educational system, our political and economic systems, our social selves, our spiritual selves, and our personal selves. We are never to be idle and never loud, always working for and supporting the owners of the society. Because we have seen the world in this way for centuries, it seems only natural, or at the very least, common sense. I would like to challenge that view of the world during this important time of year. Which brings me to the second event of this month. Next Sunday, June 20th, is the summer solstice. Summer solstice, in pagan traditions, is a time of respite, a time of celebration, because the crops have been planted and are growing. Life, fertility, and the potential bountiful harvest. Many cultures take this time to balance their lives and souls against the back-breaking work required during the planting and harvesting of crops. The light has returned and is feeding everyone. It is commonly a time of play, dancing, singing, and games. When white Europeans came to North America, they saw the natives of this continent live in accord with these natural cycles. Therefore, they came to see them as lazy, barbarian, and not really human. This is because the natives did not spend every minute of every day improving their natural surroundings, transforming it into productive land, defined as that which will provide money to its conqueror. Similarly, when white Europeans came to Africa, they also considered the natives there as lazy, barbarian, and not really human. Even when captured and forced into slavery in the Americas, they were still described as lazy, despite the fact that they did the manual labor that made this country as prosperous as it has been. These views of the pagan way of being persist into today in slightly more subtle ways, but are still clearly there. To see change in our personal lives and in society, we need to reclaim the power of play. The white European way of squashing play, seeing it as wasteful and irrelevant, has led us here, where few thrive at the expense of the many. Our health suffers from stress-related syndromes, and we define ourselves by our work, not by the joy we bring to the world. Play is a revolutionary act. Can you imagine a world where we balance work and play rather than work and life, which in most cases means work at work and work at home, and where we value people for themselves, not just for what they do? On this solstice and throughout the year, let's be loud. Let's be idle. Let's do the work we need to, but remember our work is only a small part of who we are. During the spring, Suzanne led everyone in planting a seed of purpose and joy within themselves. We have done the work of watering and thinking on those seeds, if only subconsciously. Now it is time to help the seedlings grow. Now is the time for play and celebration. Just like the seed that we plant in the dirt needs light and water to nurture it, the seed we plant in our souls needs play. I'm now going to lead you through a meditation that will hopefully spark joy for play within yourself. Please close your eyes and take a deep breath, breathing in 2, 3, and out 2, 3. Let yourself open your mind and body to accept this brief moment and give yourself permission to relax and follow along with no protests. Though it is hard to relax, allow yourself to relax where you sit. Listen to your breathing as you focus on your body. Feel the rise and fall of your breath through your lungs. Feel the clothes stretch over your skin. Feel your muscles tense and release as you shift in your chair, finding that perfectly comfortable spot. As you relax, let your mind wander back to a time when you were at your peak of happiness whilst playing. Maybe it was holding your friend's hand, feeling their warmth as you giggled under the hot sun. Maybe it was running free in the fields with the rushes sweeping through your open palms and songbirds in your ears. Maybe it was the first time you finally felt successful with a hobby you enjoy. Whatever that memory is, focus on the energy flowing through you at that time. Feel the spark of joy and laughter as if it is happening now. Take the next breath to capture that elation within your heart and mind. Give it space in your present body. Allow the memories of happiness and play to course through your mind, bringing more glee with it. Let yourself explore and twist through your past, focusing only on the good, the positive, and the playful. Let this energy move through you and leave behind a muse to direct you in play. Grasp at any ideas that sweep through your consciousness and embrace them. As you gather this energy, let your mind drift to something you love doing. As you take in your next breath, imagine yourself following through on this activity. feel your physical response to the muscle memory of completing this task. Take a mental picture of what you are doing. Capture the feelings and thoughts as you do this in your mind. As you open your eyes, keep that image at the forefront of your memory and make a plan to follow through on this preferred activity you have chosen. You may open your eyes. So if not today, when will you do this? Set a time and make it your goal to play before this month is over. For if you do not nurture your soul, how can you enjoy life? If you cannot enjoy life, how can you truly live? Today, I want you to go forth and enjoy the sunshine. Breathe in the air with purposeful breaths. Look at the world around you through the lens of play and discover something that sparks joy within you. Let yourself be free as a child, if only for a moment.